Ever get that feeling like, is this too good to be true? You know, when you see those online business systems that promise to just like bring in clients on autopilot, well, get ready because that's what we're diving into today. Agency traffic magic. This system claims it can do just that.
Yeah, this system, it's like, it really speaks to that desire for automated success, you know, especially in the digital marketing world. Everybody wants those high-paying clients just falling into their lap.
Right. And who wouldn't want that? So we've got this YouTube review by Mike from Maine, and he really breaks down this system, walks us through all the features, even shows what he says is like proof that it works.
It's always good to have a guide when you're trying to figure out if these things are legit or not.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's see if this agency traffic magic, if it lives up to all the hype.
Okay, so Agency Traffic Magic, it claims it can bring in 3 to 5 new clients every single week.
Every week, that's impressive.
And these clients are supposedly lining up to pay like thousands of dollars each month for your agency services.
That's quite a claim, even for online marketing, which moves pretty fast as it is.
Yeah, and you know, this done for you approach, it's a popular one, but I don't know, it always seems a little too simple, right?
Yeah, it always does, doesn't it? Like, what's the catch? We're going to have to unpack how this magic is supposed to work.
Okay, so imagine this. No more cold calling, no more chasing down leads, just a constant flow of what they call organic inbound leads coming right from Google, all thanks to Agency Traffic Magic.
Sounds pretty nice, doesn't it?
It does. So apparently the system, it's the brainchild of this guy named Tom Gaddis and his company. They're called Offline Sharks. And Mike, he even shows a picture of a check for over $1,500 saying it's from a happy customer.
Testimonials,
Yeah.
they can be persuasive,
Mm-hmm.
but they only ever tell one side of the story.
Yeah, that's true.
But what really sticks out to me here is this focus on organic leads.
Right.
Now, for our listener who might not be familiar with that term, it basically means attracting clients through your website's ranking on search engine results pages, mainly Google.
Okay, so when you search for something on Google, it's like how high up your website shows up in the results.
Exactly.
Got it.
And to get there, well, that usually involves a little something called SEO.
SEO. Yeah, those 3 letters, they can either be your best friend or your worst enemy if you're running a business online.
Yeah, you're not wrong. SEO, which stands for search engine optimization, it's all about making sure your website shows up high on Google when potential clients are searching for, well, whatever services you offer.
Okay.
And it's not as easy as just, throwing some words on a page and
Yeah.
hoping for the best. It takes time, it takes strategy, and you've got to constantly be adapting to Google's ever-changing algorithms.
So it's like a moving target. You're always trying to hit it and it's always moving.
Exactly. It keeps you on your toes.
Yeah. So how does Agency Traffic Magic fit into all of this?
Well, this is where they claim to have the secret sauce, an AI engine that supposedly does 90% of the SEO work for you.
90%.
That's what they're claiming. They say this practically guarantees top rankings and a flood of eager clients.
So basically just plug it in and watch the money roll in.
That's the idea they're selling, yeah. And Mike, he seems pretty impressed by this whole AI thing.
I mean, AI is a big deal these days, right? It seems like it's changing everything.
It's true, artificial intelligence is definitely shaking things up in the SEO world, but it's not a magic bullet. Not yet, anyway.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it can help, but it's not going to do all the work for you.
Exactly. AI can automate those tedious SEO tasks like keyword research, figuring out what words people are actually typing into Google and competitor analysis, which is basically spying on your competition, seeing what they're doing,
Right.
which can be incredibly helpful, don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But there are still aspects of SEO that really need a human touch, especially if you're a business targeting a specific location, like those Main Street businesses.
Local businesses, yeah, those are a whole different ballgame, right?
Absolutely.
It's one thing to rank a website nationally, but when you're talking about a local business, it's got to be hyper-targeted.
You've got that right. And that's actually something interesting about Offline Sharks, the company behind Agency Traffic Magic.
What's that?
Mike mentions that they've got a strong track record in local marketing.
Really? So they're not just some online gurus who've never stepped foot in a real business.
Seems that way, which is an interesting wrinkle to this whole thing, don't you think?
I do, yeah. So that experience with local marketing, you're saying it could give them an edge when they're developing an SEO system, even if it uses AI.
It's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a big difference between claiming you can, outsmart Google's algorithm from your basement and actually walking into a local business, implementing strategies, and getting real-world results.
Right, like actually knowing what works.
Precisely. And if Offline Sharks truly has that local experience under its belt, It could mean they understand the ins and outs of local SEO, which can be very different from ranking a website on a national scale.
So it's not just about knowing how to use keywords then, it's about understanding the specific challenges that come with local search, like those near-me searches everyone's always doing on their phones.
You got it. Local SEO, it's a whole other beast.
Yeah.
You've got to optimize your Google My Business profile, get listed in local directories, build up those local citations things an AI engine might not fully grasp on its own.
But a company that's been in the trenches of local marketing, they'd get it.
Exactly.
So having that local marketing background, it could give them a real advantage when it comes to building an SEO system, even one that uses AI.
Potentially, yeah. But we can't forget agency traffic magic. It's also pushing this whole hands-free automated approach to getting clients, which that's where things get a little trickier, you know?
Right, because just getting people to your website, that's only half the battle, isn't it? You still need to convince those people to actually become paying clients.
Exactly. It's like having a fancy sports car. You might have the best engine in the world, which in this case, that's your SEO, but you still need a skilled driver to get you to the finish line.
So the driver, that's the sales and the client management part of it.
You got it. And that's a part that Mike from Maine, he didn't really dive into too much in his review.
Yeah, he seemed pretty focused on the traffic generation part of things.
Which I get it. A lot of online reviews, they focus on that, the shiny object part.
Right.
But for our listeners, it's super important to remember, even if agency traffic magic delivers on all those promises about organic leads, you know, clients just showing up at your doorstep, building a successful agency, it takes more than that.
You still got to close those deals, make the clients happy, actually get them results.
100%. And those things, those are not always things that software can automate, you know? Building relationships, really understanding what each client needs, being able to change your approach on the fly, those are all human skills.
No algorithm can replace that. The human element of business, right?
Exactly. Now, agency traffic magic might give you some templates, maybe some scripts to use when you're talking to clients.
Sure.
But real success, the kind that lasts, it comes from that genuine connection, that personalized service you can't get from a robot.
Makes you wonder about those screenshots Mike showed, the ones with people bragging about those big contracts, you know. Were those really all thanks to the system, or was there more to the story?
It's always the question, isn't it? Anytime you see these marketing programs, these software that promise the world, you got to dig a little deeper. Look for those case studies, those real stories from people who've used the system and have actually been successful with it long term.
Not just those quick testimonials you see on the sales page.
Exactly. And speaking of things that make you go, what about the cost of all this magic?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering about. Mike did mention multiple upgrades, add-ons, all that.
The upsells. Yeah, that always sends up a red flag for me.
Me too. It's like, how much is this really going to cost me in the long run?
That's the thing, that initial price tag, it's often just the tip of the iceberg with these online marketing programs. They're designed to pull you in with a low price. And then, bam, additional modules, coaching programs, premium support, all for an extra fee, of course.
So you sign up thinking you're getting a steal, and then they hit you with all these offers promising even faster results, even more clients.
You got it. And it's not that it's necessarily unethical or anything, but you got to be aware of it going in. You know, the true cost of these programs, it's often a lot higher than that initial investment.
It's easy to get caught up in the excitement, especially when it seems like there's a magic solution to all your business problems.
I know it is.
But as we've been talking about building a successful agency, it takes a lot more than just clicking a few buttons.
It does indeed.
It's like, there's that saying, right? There's no such thing as a free lunch.
Exactly.
And in this case, it's like, there's no magic system that's just going to spit out clients without you putting in any work.
Nope, not going to happen.
So where does this leave us with agency traffic magic? Is it a total scam? Is it legit, but maybe with some strings attached? What are our takeaways for the listener who's at home? Maybe they're hearing this and thinking, okay, this sounds interesting, but I don't want to get fooled.
Right. Yeah, be careful.
Yeah.
Well, from what we've seen, agency traffic magic, it doesn't seem like a straight-up scam.
Okay.
I mean, Mike from Maine, he seemed like he genuinely believes in it.
Yeah, he did.
And the fact that Offline Sharks, you know, they've got that background in local marketing, that does give them a little bit of street cred.
Right. It's not like they just materialize out of thin air.
Exactly.
But it's not like you can just set it and forget it either.
Definitely not. You can't just assume that the system's going to do everything for you.
So what you're saying is you got to go into this and really any online business opportunity with a healthy dose of skepticism.
Absolutely. Don't just take their word for it, you know. Don't rely on those flashy testimonials or the sales pages. that promise you the world.
It's your homework.
Do your research, exactly.
Yeah.
Look for in-depth reviews, people who have actually used the system, and not just for a week or two, but people who have stuck with it and seen real long-term success.
And maybe most importantly, don't put all your eggs in one basket, right? Focus on building a solid business foundation.
100%. Don't get so caught up in chasing shortcuts that you forget about the fundamentals.
Because at the end of the day, those fundamentals, they're what really matter.
They do. They're what's going to carry you through no matter what system you're using, what program you're trying.
So instead of trying to find that magic bullet, invest your time and energy in yourself.
Exactly.
Learning those core skills, figuring out who your ideal client is, building those relationships.
That's how you build a business that lasts.
It's like they say, give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime.
Love that analogy.
And in this case, learning to fish, it means, mastering those core principles of business, marketing, figuring out how to get clients and keep them happy.
You got it. That's the real secret to success.
So, agency traffic magic. It might have some good stuff, it might not, but the real takeaway here is don't get blinded by the hype.
Don't get seduced by the promise of easy money.
Focus on building something real, something sustainable.
Something that can thrive even without the magic.
And on that note, we'll leave you with this. Instead of chasing shortcuts, master the fundamentals, build genuine relationships, and always be ready to learn and adapt. That's the real secret to long-term success, no matter what business you're in.